So what is the main thing to start off with? Some of the points as you looked at the flyer this week, it talked about how to walk in success in your business. How your soul issues can sabotage your ability to succeed in business. Your soul issues. Notice I didn't say your mental issues. Because when you think about your mental issues, many of you will say, well, yeah, that's up here. That's in my brain. That's somewhere in my mind somewhere. That's somewhere in my emotions. My mental issues can impact that. But we want to present to you tonight, it really starts in your soul, that immaterial part of your being that you cannot see, but that really maneuvers everything that you do. What we literally see in your physical body, what you express with your words, comes out from your soul. So I hope to interest some of you on that tonight. Some of you may want to check us out at the Paula Price Success Center to talk more about your soul, how it impacts your ability to succeed. The next point would be why business success comes from a soul trained to grow up. Oh, don't we love that word? We've got to grow up. A lot of times you may be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, but your soul is still 10, 12, 13. Don't be a woman that something happened to you in your preteen or teen years. You can be stuck there, or something in your formative 3, 4, 5-year-old year. You can be stuck there, and you literally can take that child into business with you. So that soul needs to grow up. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about how to care for yourself mentally in order to be the best in your business. How are you going to care for yourself mentally in order to be the best in your business? See, now we've come out of that soul, and now we're saying to you, now you have to think about the mental things, the things that do happen in your mind, in your emotions, how you think, how you process your behavior. Many of you may have heard about cognitive behavior therapy. Really, that's something that it's a part of being able to think logically, not with your emotions, not how you feel about a thing. Many of you who worked hard in business know that it takes to work against your own desires to know how to really take care of some things you need to. Thank you, Miss Vanessa. Don't you just love a team that's persistent? So we've got another computer for you, and we're going to work on getting the slides to you. I hope you can see them. All right. I think I see Vanessa now. Yeah. The camera's turned the other way. All right. So we're wonderful. All right, great. So my first slide for you, I already talked to you about successful women in business. Look, I wish I could see your faces, but can you raise your hand with me? Because that makes me feel better. How many of you want to be successful women in business? All of you, because you're on the line for that. You want to know you're in this program. You're part of this a community of professional women who are looking to get every part of their lives together. You just don't want the chicks on 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to get my business plan together. How much money am I going to make? Who am I going to entertain? You want to know how to make a holistic change in your life so you could be that woman that's going to say, yeah, I'm indeed successful in what I'm doing. And as I told you before, sometimes the success can be skewed by things that are in your soul, that's an untrained soul that hasn't grown up, and then also not even understanding how to take care of yourself mentally. The last one, most important, many of us, and I share with you that Chief Tyler has been my mentor, and it's so powerful. I'm so blessed. Y'all got to know that. She's my mentor in ministry, in business, and even just life. We're years apart, but she has an ability, by the way she's been trained, to the things that she's persevered, to even help me as a woman who has children, grandkids, to figure out, hey, how do you do this thing and keep it all going? I haven't seen too many people who can manage a life so full and still come off of it with such a gracious heart. So I take my time to learn from her. I allow myself to sit at her feet, allow her to mentor me, coach me. Okay, coach is one thing. It's like, yay, great job. Mentor and advisor, she takes me and she, kind of puts the ring around it, okay? Pulls it apart, say, we ain't doing that. That's not going to work. You're going to do, oh, yeah, you're going to be here. So, yeah, that's the stretcher. And then also I have the counselor. That might be someone like me that you sit and talk to, that you kind of process, where am I? What's going on? We go after things that little 3-year-old suffered. Oh, come on. Many of you have sat on the line, have been abused, mistreated, sexually, physically, neglect, all kinds of things that really impact women when you have that six-figure salary coming in, dressed in that fine suit, but you walk into a room full of men and you're intimidated, and because you go back to that time in your life when you were hurt. We will touch that. Okay, so what is self-sabotage? I've already got you on the next slide. Well, the biggest thing about the soul issues that we can work through is the biggest thing I find with women is self-sabotage. No one else does it but you. You don't even realize it. You might think it's your neighbor at the next cubicle, or the next person who put up the same business. You told a good friend that you were going to start a new fashion company, and then they're running one a couple blocks from you. You think they're the one that's sabotaging you. No, it's you. Okay? Self-sabotage is when you do something that gets in the way of your intent or your bigger dreams and goals. Notice I put our, but I want you to think about for you. What are some things you can do that sabotages this intent you have? I desire to do this. I've gone to school. I'm paying all this money back. Okay, some of us are just trying to get forgiveness, whatever you need. But yet, this bigger dream that I spent so much time sowing into, working hard, setting up the goals, having people like coaches and mentors, but yet there's still some things that's in you that comes alongside to literally put their foot out while you're running to trip you, and it's you. Self-sabotage can be done for, guess what, y'all? Self-preservation. It seems like they're two opposite sides of a coin. If I'm self-sabotaging, how can I be protecting myself? But guess what? You're preserving an area of comfort in your soul. Remember, I said it's in your soul. You say, no, that's not true. I mean, how do I know? Because it's like, who knows what's going on in my soul? Well, we see it by your symptomatic behavior, your self-doubt, your fear, your insecurity, your self-hatred. All of those are markers of self-sabotage. You might say, well, I don't have self-doubt. I worked really hard. I'm the top of my class. I spent 5 years being the only one in the corner having this business, and I persevered. Yeah, but guess what? The next thing that that you're being told to start up, maybe go put your business in the mall or something larger, or connect with a bigger company that's going to give you more visibility. But then you begin to say, well, I don't really know how to talk. I'm not sure if I could do that. I'm uncertain about how much I can do. Let me just state where I am, because at least here I know I'm comfortable where I am, so I don't have to make any effort of change. Because you can really work hard to get somewhere and then stop. Fear. You'd be surprised. After all of this work, here comes fear coming along like a good old friend would. If you do this, you might lose everything. So if you try a new product, if you try something new to just bring the business out a little bit more, you might lose it. What about if you lost everything that you worked hard for? What is everybody going to say? Those guys, you got to pay attention to these voices that come as prudence, but they're really steeped in fear. Insecurity. Many of us have that. And unfortunately, being an American woman, and if you're not American, you're in America, a woman in America, you understand insecurity was bred into us from long ago, and that's any nation, but since we're in America, I'll speak on that. The sense of we need to be secured by someone else, so we should always be a bit insecure and timid and shy so someone can watch over us. How? You say, but that can't be me. I'm the owner of my business. You don't understand. I'm real strong. I can get it done. But you know what? A lot of women who are like that can get in there, do the business meeting real strong, but then go home and looking for that man to bring some security. That's not nobody on the line, right? Because we have over 14 people. It must be somebody else. The insecurity. So I need someone to offer me some level of security. Or you really connect to others that are going to be the ones to tell you how to run your vision when the vision is in you. Now, I'm not saying you can't collaborate, but when you start to give it away because of the fact now you feel insecure, that's another form of self-sabotage. And the last one, self-hatred. And so many of us carry that in our loins, where we have a disdain for our own ability. Even though you're the top of your class, your business is going well, there are many things that people admire you for and encourage you and affirm you, but you walk away, there's that subtle self-hatred. We're going to talk about those are self-sabotage things that can do for self-preservation to preserve this area of comfort in your soul. Yeah, they weren't really good things. Self-doubt, fear, insecurity, self-hatred. But guess what? They offer your soul some kind of comfort because it's trying to take care of some long ago issue, a soul trauma, soul tear that happened, and it's sitting there and saying, you can't let me go because I offer you a sense of stability. So if you can see the slide here, I have some other ones for you. I need to be in control. That doesn't mean you give everyone control of your business, but if you need to be in control of everything, guess what? Your mind is going to be a hot mess. That's my dictionary word, a hot mess. Or you're always angry and frustrated, and you feel that, if you put that prowess on you, that's going to get you somewhere. Or you have a mind that says, you do a couple of things, you said, there's no point in trying. There's no point in trying. Oh, what else? I don't deserve to be loved. As a woman in business, you might say, I don't deserve to be the highest in my company. I don't deserve to succeed, but yet you're working for it. Self-sabotage. I don't like myself. That goes back to that self-hatred. I have to keep them happy. Here it is. I have to keep whomever happy, whether it's my clients, my customers, my bosses, those who I'm looking to please. I'm this muskrat running on a wheel, just trying to keep somebody happy so then they can help me feel that I'm worthy. I am afraid. There's nothing wrong with fear. Hear me. A right fear that comes along, but it's not the fear, it's what you do with that. If it becomes debilitating and it forces you to do things that's against who you are, then that is a place of sabotage. I have to be perfect. Okay. How many of you? Raise your hand. Put 2 hands up. That might be you on there, because if you feel like if you fail at anything, if it doesn't work out, if it's not perfect, it's not going to be right. Sometimes we miss it. And the last one, no one likes me. This sense of no one likes me. So you enter into life, you go into business meetings with that smell on you, with that scent. It's like a well-applied perfume. So when you walk in the room, you wonder why they don't like it. Well, you walked in the room with the perfume, so that says no one likes me. So that's what you're getting back. So, in a simplified form, think of those things that can be self-sabotaging. Another thing to think of when soul sabotage takes place. Now, I talked to you about self-sabotaging, but let's talk about soul sabotage. How can you sabotage your soul? You're a woman who wants to move up in your company. You want to be an entrepreneur. You have this new business venture. You're going to training. You even have grants that's going to help you put this business together. But guess what? Lack of direction. Not having a clear idea as to why you got into business or have professional aspirations. Well, that should be simple. You can just sit down, write a goal, write a plan. But guess what? If your soul is lacking, it's hard to have focus. It causes lack of focus. It yields little gain and low results, because you're here, you're there. The next idea is where you want to run to. If somebody presents you something, all of a sudden you lost your idea. If somebody comes along and says, well, I don't think that's going to work, you lose out. You have nothing set before you to guide you to persevere and endure. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be a professional moving up in the ranks of business or in the ranks of anything that you put your hand into, some of you ministry, you have got to persevere and endure, and you've got to have a direction. You've got to have something set before you that's a joy for you, that you're willing to give up everything for, and you'll persevere and endure for it. The next one, emotional immaturity. Nobody on the line. We'll leave it at that, because if you're here, you're this far, you're trying to move up in business, but there are those out there. Emotional immaturity is what will get you. What's the opposite of that? Emotional intelligence. What's that? If you're emotionally immature, you have the inability to manage and deal with your emotion. This aspect causes you to be immature and erratic in how you handle life's issues. And as a businesswoman that's seeking success, to move towards a soul of success, you've got to deal with your emotional immaturity. That may mean you talk it out with people. You deal with those areas where you react by your emotions and not your logic system. You deal with those areas you're looking for other people to identify and bring identity to who you are. And always being that little girl that's looking for someone to soothe your emotions, to soothe your idea. You're working on a business plan. If somebody else doesn't like it, you're giving it up. All those things will cause you to be someone who's erratic and cannot control their own emotions. And the remedy for that is to work on emotional maturity. Look at those things. Emotional intelligence. Read good books on it. What do you do? How did other women get through it? I would recommend that you hear what Dr. Tala tells you on what books to pick up, how to deal with some of those things. Journal. You're going to hear me say that again. Journal. Get to know you. You want others to appreciate you and say things about you, but you've got to get to know you. So emotional immaturity. Can you see the picture on the side? Self-sabotage. You see her sitting on the tree having a good time, but guess what? She's got a saw in her hand, cutting that limb. Where is she on the side? She is sitting on the limb she's cutting. That's how it looks like when you sabotage your soul. You cut all that you have worked hard for through your own sabotage issue. The next one, look at him running around with a grenade, about to blow up. He don't even know, chained to it. Your own soul sabotage can create that for you, so you're always like something waiting to detonate. What is one? Self-reward. Okay, because we talked about the fact that you're going to have to be someone who endures, who presses through, who perseveres, and wanting to reward yourself before you've met your goals. That, my dear, is an immature soul. They have done studies out there. You should see on YouTube. Look it up, where they show how kids, when they're, school age, elementary age, how well, or preschool, how well they can wait for something. And so they put, I don't know, like a candy or something in the room. They say, don't touch that until we get back. When we get back, you can have it, right? So they do a video to see how many kids can handle waiting. Do you know many of the kids don't? Many of us are like that. So I've worked really hard. I've gotten a great loan. I started a business. But guess what? I'm going to go get my car because I got a business now, so I need a BMW because now I'm ready to roll, okay? Or my wardrobe has to be the best and the finest suit, so I'm going to use part of that loan or part of what I've done so I can make sure I'm rewarding myself the whole time. Or I'm going to hit it. You're this woman who really needs to keep focused on business, so you go get your boyfriend who's going to jack your mind, your way, and you're too busy running after him instead of what you need to be doing. All right? So self-reward. Anything you think that's going to reward your behavior because you worked so hard. And unfortunately, for minority population, we have a greater propensity to do that. You might say, well, that's racist. No, studies have shown that. And that's because of having so many things taken away from us, so many hits or misses, especially when you're dealing with minority women. So the next one is another soul sabotage is an undisciplined life. No real control or management skills. Well, what happens then? You're all over the place. You miss the class or course on discipline and self-control, which helps one to manage their affairs effectively. Many of us miss that. You didn't want to adhere to your early years of training if you had decent guardians and parents who were trying to help you, or some of you had to teach yourself. But it's never too late. There are great books out there on how to lead a disciplined life. What does that look like? My house is a mess, my car's a mess, my checkbook is a mess. Sometimes when you're starting a business, you have a lot less. You spend a lot more. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a consistent lifestyle of undisciplined ways. You're up late doing nothing, and then you have to be at work in the morning. You're not preparing sufficiently for your meetings. Those things carry over. If you were a young woman who barely ever got their work done at school, who tried to cut and paste everything in life, let's just call it a cut and paste life. Or you copied, or you just tried to just smooches, all those things you could think about that represents no discipline. When you think about a disciplined person, you think about a soldier, a military person. They have schedules, they have rules, they have regulations. It seems a bit binding, but it actually is boundary that sets them on a course for perseverance, for endurance, and for success. So look at those areas in your life where your own soul will sabotage you with undiscipline, being undisciplined. What does that look like? You might be someone because you are so excited about a business goal or a venture or getting a new position. You worked hard. You put everything into it, and you got the business, you got the new position. But as soon as you get the position, guess what happens? That undisciplined soul steps up. Now it takes the front seat, and it now begins to work for you, or rather against you. So that will impact you. And the other thing, what helps? Discipline helps to create internal qualities of a leader and a forerunner who self-regulates. So discipline is about self-regulating. Saying no to yourself when you need to, setting up a schedule, getting up on time, going to bed on time. There are times you may have to be up really late, waking up anyway, going refreshed, taking care of those things, preparing for your meetings, preparing for the next thing that you hope to inspire, even studying for major exams, certifications, going to school, taking courses, staying current, continuing your education as a business person. All right? So what does it look like? What do you need? The trained and the grown-up soul. We talked about soul sabotage, self-sabotage. Let's look a little bit at what it looks like to have a trained and grown-up soul. What does it take? Honesty. Some of the things we just talked about, being honest about your own incongruent ways in your own life. You may have to get a chart and write these things down. What areas am I not being honest about who I am? I say I want a business, but I'm not willing to work late for it. I say I want a business, but I'm not willing to take business courses or train. I say I want to move up in my company, but I'm not willing to do those things that I need to do to help myself increase in my business. So what's the next one? After honesty, soul truth serum. Well, let me explain that one to you. That's really not something you'll be able to dispense to yourself really well, because we all have difficulty telling ourselves the truth. We have difficulty being honest, looking at ourselves square-footed, because just the same way you couldn't do surgery on yourself, you can't really give that soul truth serum to yourself. So dealing with that, looking at that, what does that entail? Allowing others to talk to you, placing yourself under accountability, allowing yourself to sit with a counselor, a coach, a mentor, an advisor, a spiritual leader to help guide you, or someone you look up to, or the next person, your preceptor, someone who will help you through your business deals, to help you kind of be stable in what you're doing. The next one, determination. What is it going to take? It's going to take determination for someone who wants to be successful in business. Your ability to be determined is going to make a world of difference, because you're going to have to be determined when nobody else can see it. And a soul that is trained and grown up learns that no matter what, they're going to persevere. We're going to be like the Benjamin Franklin that may have failed, 300 times, I think they said, and try one more time. One more time, because remember I told you, you have set a joy before you that you will press to that joy no matter what takes place. You might even say, you know what, if I die doing this, I will. Somebody else will pick it up. Because if they see that vision, they can do it. It takes that kind of commitment, because you will do it no matter what, and that takes time. And it takes others to even show you what that looks like. It takes others to show you what it looks like when you're not a determined leader, when you're not a determined entrepreneur, when you're not willing to challenge your soul to grow up. Some of this is going to help your soul grow up, because you're going to make your soul do whatever it takes to do to make it to the end, okay? The next one, commitment. Need I say more? If you paid the money to train, if you're doing all the things you need to do, got your business plan together, working, selling some things, all of this, all the wonderful things that women in business bring, then the next thing is a commitment. Treat it like a marriage. Treat it like parenting. Treat it like something else that you may have committed to. Maybe the way you care for your dog or your cat. Hopefully you're taking care of them. That you're going to commit to this to the end, till you see this goal completed. And then what's the next step for that? You don't want to just be someone who goes from thing to thing and no real commitment. And if you have people who are following you in business, they're not going to trust you. If you go from one thing to the next, they will not be able to trust you. Perseverance. Again, same thing. Kind of like mirrors determination. Determination is the grit to say, I'm going to do it no matter what. Perseverance is I'm going to do it all the time, to the end. I'm going to persevere in this. I'm going to endure in this. Beyond the determination, I'm going to have an endurance. And a trained and grown-up soul works on being a persevering soul. What helps you persevere? Guys, hear me. The things you go through. The things you go through, the things you didn't like going through, the even for some of you being made fun of when you were at school and all those other things. Our apologies for trained, right? The spelling on that, but the persevering on that, and even that, which is too funny for me to even use. Look at the word trained. But the worst thing for me growing up was I hated to speak in front of public. I'd cry. My hands would sweat. They still sweat now, and my spelling was always atrocious. Okay. So those were the things that would have stopped me from keep moving and pressing. But in that pressing forth and moving and having a greater goal than my fears. I'm speaking to you today about having a greater goal than your fears, your insecurities, your self-doubt, something bigger than yourself and the fears and concerns you have that will cause you to push past it, to persevere, getting your training. Okay, getting spell check, right, and getting the accountability going, getting all of those things inside of you. Training. What is that? Take that business course. Go to school. There are many out there who want to start business, but you're not willing to sit for a 4-year degree if it necessitates that, or you're not willing to get the certification, or you're not willing to work with another and be apprenticed by them, so that you can raise up something that you have someone you admire that can show you the ropes. Things like that. Being trained at the job that you're at now. Let's talk a little bit about. Many people want to have their own business. They want to move up in what they see someone else doing, but you're not willing to go through the years that it takes to do that. You want something fully grown. You want it done by tomorrow, but you don't realize those who you see that have worked hard to get what they need. So hear me, you've got to press on that place in you that may have an aversion to education and training. Very important. Sometimes getting some books, pulling up the YouTube videos, Udemy, the self-training courses. Those are great. Short courses, anything that you can get your hand on. If it's being given out there and it will work, use it. The accountability. Why is that important? Because you need others to speak into your life. And you need others that will remind you of your vision and your purpose for why you got into business and why you want to succeed in your profession. What is all that? A trained and a soul that is grown up. Remember, no longer are we 10, 12-year-old girls or 3, 4, 5 years old. We are fully grown women, not girls, all right, that's just trying to figure it out, but women who really want to pursue the success of our soul and be successful in business. So you know this is to pursue success of your soul and be successful in business. Don't leave the two apart. What are some things you can do to help with your mental health for the businesswoman? I told you we would talk about your mental health. Believe it or not, as we talked about all the soul stuff, here we're going to go into, how do I feel? How do I think? How am I going to express that in my world? And how I'm going to keep my mind stable? Well, journal. I told you I'd say that to you. Get you a good, composition notebook. Some of you might like pretty journals, whatever it takes, daily or regularly sit. To have some time of self-reflection. Don't make it a pity party time. But learn, do it as if you're talking to yourself about yourself or talking throughout your day. Some of you who are those who pray daily, who seek the counsel of God, you may use that as a place that you speak with Him. You can add your scripture verses there. You can spend time with Him because this is where you're going to learn about you and why is it that your focus is increasing and being successful in your business. Daily prayer, daily seeking out for that voice that is higher than yours that's going to help you be stable in what you're doing, because it really helps to form a soul in you that's constantly feeding off of whom it follows. Exercise, real simple. You can go for a walk, low impact activity, some swimming, things of that type. I just gave you a few examples, but you might take a sport. Maybe you play tennis. I don't know, something where you get that adrenaline pumping, releases stress, because if you're a woman in business, there's enough of that going on. And the next one is healthy nutrition. What's that? Good food. Balanced diet, a lot of greens, healthy meats. Make sure women, you're getting that B12 vitamin, you're getting that D, you're getting the immune support, whole grains. There's so much out there in Google. You really could do a good search on what will work for you. Don't go on these crazy fad diets because you're trying to be cute in that suit, and then you can't think when it's time for a business meeting. So eat right. Rest. You're going to need to sleep. Yes, most women who are working really hard, you're working more hours. I say that sort of laughing because many times I'm going to bed at 3:30, getting up at 5. But there are days where your body says, no more. Please allow it to rest, because that's when your soul will recalibrate, when you give it a chance to rest. The next one, cultivate relationships. Don't be so hardcore that you can't make friends with other people, with your family, with loved ones, and those other business women. My goodness, great opportunities like coming to Winning Women's Network or connecting with other business women. It's going to help encourage you, because there's going to be a symbiotic way that you feel, hey, these people understand me and they help me to press through. The last one, next to the last one, counsel. Through advisement, mentorship, speaking to those who may have wisdom and counsel to give you and help you to be stable in your makeup, to do those things that are important, because it's important to talk to other people about what you're doing, right? And then they also help to judge you, to correct you, to adjust you, to help you live life. We are not meant to do it in a vacuum and alone, or watching TV and getting our example from that. Invest in a hobby and other interests. But I don't have time for that. Make time. Paint. I don't know. Read a book. Do something. Sometimes you might need a Netflix, a binge. Not every day, not every week, but every so often you may need to invest in some other things that's going to help you be stable. All right? I can't talk to y'all, so I can say, all right, any questions? We'll get to that. The last one, in the multitude of counsel there is safety. That scripture, it talks about there's a lot of safety when you have many sound voices that's speaking to you to help you move towards your goal. What's that? Mentorship. I told you, that's someone who's willing to really look at where you're going, speak into your life, guide you, direct you, correct you, and you aspire to be like them, so you'll learn from them. The advisement, the word is in there. Someone who can give you advice. Someone who can give you some direction when you have need of it. Coaching, what's that? Okay, this is what you want to do with your business. This is how we can get to it. Why do you have these goals? So think of it as a coach. They help you do the exercises, and they promote, like by cheering you on. You can do it. Counseling, someone like myself can sit with you. We'll talk about those deep wounded places in your soul and how they are antagonists to your business hopes and desires, and also, hey, how they're helping you, how your soul is growing, and how you're becoming a grown-up soul so you may succeed in your business. As we end, some take-home points. Hey, what can you do? I have Dr. Paula A. Price's book on Distress to Success. Great book. It's geared towards addiction, but I use it for people to deal with soul bondage, soul hurt, soul wounds, disappointments. It'll help to excavate those things that come against your ability to achieve success. So your take-home points: self-reflection. Set some goals. Self-reflection you do in that journal. Set some goals and plans and follow them. Change your thoughts. If they're coming up against your business, deal with it. Change your behavior. What's going to help a soul really move forward is that behavior comes in line with what you truly say you want and you desire. And receive the right counsel. And that is really all I have for you guys tonight. If you have some questions, Chief Tyler is going to come back on. I appreciate your time. Thank you for having me on.
Well, it was awesome to have you on. We appreciated the opportunity, and we're going to open up for them to have some questions. Will they be able to have at least one or two? Okay, so you can unmute yourself right now if you have a question or if you want to leave a feedback, okay? So we definitely want to give you the opportunity to do that. At least a couple of our Winning Women members tonight. We'd love for you guys to have an opportunity to at least do that.
I have a question.
Is everybody just stunned? They might be just stunned, okay? because that could be that we are just stunned tonight in terms of what we heard and what we received. I personally found it very beneficial. I loved the way it started off, all the way to the inward part of talking about self-sabotage. Because I think that you explained self-sabotage in a way that we didn't consider. When we think about self-sabotage, we always think about just making a mistake, you know, the errors that, you know, in judgment or etc., but not the internal, those silent killers, those silent ways, those internal ways in which we really do sabotage ourselves and our success, or impede our ability to move forward or advance, or even impede our ability to take advantage of opportunities. Okay? Because when you are dealing with, you know, soul issues, mental issues, mentality affects your consciousness, which affects your perceptions. And they're all so tightly, you know, woven together that you can easily pass on some great things in your life because of those internal things. I know I sabotage myself. I tell the story all the time about I got accepted into a top performing art school, didn't take it because of those self-saboteurs and silent killers that you talked about: insecurity, doubt, not having enough faith in myself, lack of confidence, which we never put together as something that could literally undermine your success in business. You know, we think of those things as simply something you must overcome, not necessarily as weapons of warfare that literally undermine your success and your ability to push forward and progress in what God's given you to do or in what you're pursuing in this world. So I just thank you for it, because I think that it gave us a mental calibration, okay, where we had our mind calibrated. So this week, when we get on our Winning Women's group, and those of you guys who are members of our group, I want you to kind of write your own reflection point inside of our Winning Women's group page together, not just the members only page, but in our group that we share with everyone. Because if you're not a member tonight, that is absolutely fine. Excuse me, that is absolutely fine. We'd love for you participated in tonight's call. We'd love to hear your feedback about how this impacted you and how it helped you advance in what your business goals are, and what opportunities. Can you go back and reflect on what occasions in which you can recognize you had a saboteur? Okay, and then of course how you would address that now versus how you addressed it time. So I want to invite you to share on our Winning group page. Let us know how you're doing, how you're progressing, and how this is helping you advance in your business. We love to hear your feedback, and we love to be a part of sharing your experience and your story. If you are new and you're listening to this call tonight and you're not a Winning Women member yet, then we want to invite you to do that today. You can sign up today and today only and receive a 60-minute business consultation for becoming a Winning Women member. Okay? The benefits of becoming a member is obviously you get an opportunity to go back and listen to calls like this again and again. Make them a part of your success library. You also get an opportunity to participate in our workshop, and you also get an opportunity for consultation so that we can sit down with you and help you build your business. What I like about Winning Women is that it's a mentorship network. It's not a network of just communion and fellowship. This is all about professional mentorship. And so our goal is to help mentor you to success by giving you not just the tools and the resources, but actually dealing with who you are from the inside out. Okay? So you can sign up and get the coaching calls, blogs, our private Facebook group, our weekly tips, okay, all of those kind of things, private group chats, and even a complimentary, like we said, business consultation session. And this is not for just those who want to be entrepreneurs, but if you want a consultation about how to really advance in your own professional career, want to know the next move for your own career, we also do that with Winning Women. And so our goal is to make you a productive participant in your own success, okay? Because your success is wholly dependent upon you. I tell you all as Winning Women all the time that success starts with self-sufficiency. It starts with you. And so if you want to come under our mentorship program and you want to be a part of this process and want us to help you advance in your development professionally, okay, or entrepreneurially, we invite you to go ahead and sign up today. And you see there's 4 easy steps on the screen right now. First step is to select your plan. You can do a monthly membership or you can pay annually. All right, and even if you're a young person or you have a young girl in your life that you want to be a part of the sow into their lives, sow that membership to them and have them participate in this. Never too young, okay, for people to start working on their soul for success. Step 2 is you will receive a sign-up email, and then in that step 3, you will be able to enter your payment method and go ahead and pay for your membership. So you want to, step 4, check your email to get information about how you can engage in your membership today. So we want to invite you all to do that, and thank you for being on this call and participating. Maude, do you have any closing words for our ladies today?
Well, the one thing I would say is just remember to care for your soul. And in that place, you're going to have to go deep. So just remember, your soul is important for your business success.
All right.
Oh, you guys can find me at Paula Price, ppmglobalresources.com, at the Paula Price Success Center. And also catch me on Mental Health Mondays with Maude. It's a Facebook Live program. Love to see you on there. Just post on our page if you have any questions regarding your mental health and your soul health. All right? Have a good night. Thank you again.
Yes, and if you do find yourself needing attention on that front, that internal front, beyond just kind of a coaching moment, but you are interested in the soul rehabilitation, then we invite you to check Maude out. She does specialize in that area and can help you with that side of the business. We'll make sure that her information is posted on the Winning Women's group page. So look for that information about her Mental Health Mondays at 10 a.m. And then, of course, for you to get soul rehabilitation treatment or attention if you so desire it. We want to encourage you guys again to sign up. And thank you officially for joining us for this Tuesday telecoaching call. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.